All of this started when I was a grad student at University of Wisconsin, and I was in computer science, not at that time with any thought of the arts or being an artist. But I did care in a more personal sense than a technical sense about the computer and what it was like to use one. And there were things that I resented about computers. I resented the fact that I had to sit down to use them. I resented the fact that I was using a 100-year-old device to operate them, a keyboard. And the fact that I was using, that it was denying that I had a body of any kind, and that it wasn't perceptual, it was all sort of symbolic. And I was trying to find out the best way of making a computer, and I started thinking that artists had the best relationship, artists and musicians had the best relationships with their tools. So I started thinking about the arts and taught a class for artists to use the computer. And then I just started getting more interested in not teaching anything in the normal sense, but in communicating the essence of computers and trying to make it so that you would experience a computer rather than learn to use one or learn to do something efficient with it. And that is essentially the role of an artist, to express something. And I was thinking almost of expressing the computer the same way that the religious painters would express the scripture. Technological positivist. I loved the possibilities of technology. I didn't love the fact of what I found. So in the first environment, I was the computer. I sat at a data tablet in the computer center in Wisconsin, and I drew on that data tablet. What I drew appeared on the computer screen, was transmitted a mile away to the gallery, where it was superimposed on the live image of people. And what they saw was the projected image of themselves and graffiti that I was drawing on top of them. And then together we invented a medium. So it by accident occurred that one day I was following somebody's finger, and it looked like they were drawing. They thought they were drawing, and all of a sudden the finger was magic, and they were just moving their finger on the screen. There would be groups of people, and one person would be drawing, the other person would take it from them. And we just discovered that there was this very natural desire to identify with the image on the screen. Their image was them, and they expected it to do things in the video world as much as it did in the physical world. It was as if evolution had prepared us for seeing ourselves on television screens combined with computer images. We're reenacting acting out a plan that was conceived and proposed as far back as 1972. I made an endowment grant proposal called Video Touch, where two people would be in different environments, and when their images touched on the screen, they would each see the same image in their respective environments. In '74, the videoplace system, this system, actually started its existence. As early as '74, the computer could see you, and the computer could find whether a point on the screen was part of you. It could find your edges in real time and respond in limited ways. But I was always sort of shooting, I always had the complete medium in mind and wanted to do nothing less than the complete medium. Okay, this is a study for the piece that we'll be doing at SIGGRAPH. The interaction between a large image of the hands and the small image of the person. Now we'll be doing both scenes where the human is full size, or the full body is full size, and the hands are this size. But also one of the main attractions is the juxtaposition of large and small, so that the two people will now interact and to some extent discover what the possibilities are, what is suggested emotionally by scale. And this is part of the general video place concept of people getting together in the artificial reality. In other words, what's happening now between the two people, if this is a live image, is that we're now interacting in a way that humans have never could. And now what does that suggest? Simple as this is, it starts to suggest the kinds of things that we'll be able to do. So what I've done is peddle my technical skills doing computer graphics for companies like Pratt & Whitney. This particular effect, as a matter of fact, I've applied to the flow of gas through jet engines and applied to mathematically modeled data, so you can see this follow and know that all of the paths being taken are scientifically correct. So you're looking at, it's a way of visualizing scientific information. Since '84, Katrin Henriksen, who's over here, has been working with me and has done much of the technical work. And she's been responsible for a lot of the advances that we've had in the way of hardware and software, especially in the perception end. And so this is, it's always been a little bit like making a movie. If you think about what the ultimate ambition here is something that is, would have interactive animation, not animation, but interactive animation that was sensitive to what, not just what was going on in the environment, but what, in a static sense, but what was going on, say, in a person, responding to a person as terrain, instant by instant. So you're really talking almost about AI, and in fact, it's as realistically AI as most AI, because most AI is talking about some tiny fragment of perception, of the intelligence function, and this system is a real-time behaving creature in some sense, which perceives, makes judgments, and responds in a 30th of a second. And intelligence has always been a real-time phenomenon.